All right, welcome to this Wisdom Wednesday here. And lately I've been reading some books and some stories about software companies, especially out in Silicon Valley. I don't know if it's because that's where I grew up. I don't know if that's because I'm originally from there, but I'm reading about these software companies, and they keep using this word iterate about how they will put out a software program. And a lot of times they'll push a product or a software program or an app out into the world before it's really ready. They talk about a minimum viable product and they push it out there. And what they will do is they will gather feedback and they will gather responsiveness and see how people respond to the app and how they use it and which things they're using more and which things they're using less, which features are the most important. And they will, what they call, iterate the software almost on the spot. And so almost in real time, they're gathering feedback and they're trying to make adjustments and they're trying to make changes and to make it better as they go. Now, it reminded me, in my book, Cracking Heaven's Code, we talk about one of the core principles of the book about how our bodies really function is understanding that the Bible talks about in your heart is the core of you. It's like the inner person that is you. And you have software programming, like we know that DNA is like software. It's like digital code or software. You have software that's basically running your body. And you have the ability to, this is kind of the core theme of the book, you have the ability to iterate that software almost in real time and on demand. And so how do you know what's going on in that software? You have this software that's going on just like they do in Silicon Valley with these software companies. You have the ability to see what's happening, okay? See how your body responds in different environments. What makes you angry? What makes you frustrated? What makes you feel insecure? What makes you feel discouraged? How do you interact with people? And anytime that you find that you are not responding the way and interacting with people the way that you would want to react, okay? We were having this conversation with my wife the other day. She's like, she's a health coach and she's helping some people, and she's like, you know, I don't know what to do sometimes. These people come in and they're talking about some of the emotional issues they're struggling with, whether it's anger or stress or frustration, whatever. How do we change that pattern? And I said, the greatest thing I've ever learned is that it's like you have this software programming that's running you from the inside and you can iterate it in real time. Now, number one, how do we iterate it? How do we change the software coding on the inside of your heart, on the inside of who you really are at the core of you? Number one, we have to believe that it is possible. I have to believe that I can make changes, I can become a new person, I can adapt and become new in areas of my life where maybe that I've struggled before. I can iterate and I can become a new person. That's number one. I have to believe that it is possible, okay? And then number two is usually one of the things that keeps those areas kind of locked away is forgiveness, okay? Forgiveness begins to unlock these things and open the channels where you can begin to iterate the software at the core of who you are. So you can, if you find that you are not responding in life, so number one, we need to be aware and in real time as the days going by, pay attention to how you're responding to things. Am I responding like the person that I want to be, the person that I want to become, or do I need to make some changes and kind of rewrite the software right on the spot? And the cool thing is you can do this in a matter of minutes. Number one is being aware of what's going on. What am I thinking? How am I responding? How am I interacting with people? How am I showing up in my life? And if I'm not getting what I want to see, I can iterate. I can make changes on the spot. Number one, I have to believe that it's possible. Number two is forgiveness. I need to, number one, maybe receive forgiveness from God. I always talk about forgiveness on 3 levels. I need to maybe receive forgiveness from God for not responding like the person that I want to be or that He made me to be. I need to forgive myself, okay, is the big one. A lot of times we forget. And then if whatever happened in life, I may need to forgive others or seek forgiveness from them and reconcile relationships. Believe, forgive, and then, it's sometimes what's causing that software programming to be have bugs or have issues where it's not functioning, that we're not responding and showing up like the person that we want to be, is that sometimes we're believing a lie. Okay, and that's the root cause of it. And these lies are like viruses that get into the software coding. And sometimes we're believing a lie. It could be a lie about who we are. Maybe we feel like we're not good enough. Maybe we feel like we're not enough. Maybe we feel like we're not capable. Maybe people have said things to you. You have memories of the past or experiences that have happened to you, and they've shaped what you truly believe. So the coding in your heart, the software that's in your heart, really has to do with the beliefs about who you are, what you're capable of, what is true in the world. And then when we begin to identify, like, all right, why did I respond that way? What am I believing? And go in and replace that with something that is true. Because the truth is, you are more than enough. You are more than capable. You have the capacity to learn and to master anything and to show up as a new and an improved and better person in your life. You have the ability to master anything that you want to master, but we have to believe that it's possible. If I have this underlying belief that I'm not enough, people don't value me, all these different things, then I have a lot of times beliefs about other people, what they're capable of, what they can do, what they think of me, how am I interacting with these other people, when I have founded those things on truth. So I believe, I forgive, and then I change the beliefs in my heart about what I'm capable of and how other people are perceiving me, and maybe take some of the pressure off of that and see people in another light. Okay, a lot of times that will give you the ability to iterate the software. And you need to go in, we need to believe that it's possible, we need to forgive on 3 levels, and then I need to kind of change the underlying beliefs about myself and about other people, maybe about God, change those underlying beliefs that we have, okay, and a lot of times that'll give you the ability to rewrite this software. And then it's about putting it into practice. It's about showing up as that new person and cultivating that skill. So you already have peace and joy and love and all these good qualities. You already have it on the inside of you, but they need to be stirred up and stirred into the circulation of your body, and we need to be seeking these things. And as we do that, as we cultivate that, they're going to grow stronger and stronger, and eventually you become, you kind of iterate yourself and you become a better version of you. But these are the steps to do it. Now the cool thing is, like I said, you can do this in real time. It just takes a few minutes of all right, I need to be aware of what's going on. How did I respond? Maybe in the moment I can make some adjustments. Like, that's not the person I want to be. Why did I respond that way? Maybe at the end of the day, you take a couple minutes. Like, how did I show up today? How did I respond? And then I make adjustments at the end of each day. You know, I clear out, let's say, the anger and the stress and the frustration and the lack of forgiveness or bitterness. I clear that out and say, that's not the person that I want to be. I can iterate myself and become a new version of me, and you can make real-time changes in the programming that's running your body. Now the cool thing is, you can also apply this any area where you're not getting results in your life, where you have an area of frustration, where you're not getting the results that you're after. I guarantee you there's something in that software that needs to be updated, needs to be upgraded, needs to be cleaned out. Something needs to change in there. Okay, so if you're having an area where you are not getting results, you can iterate it on the fly. This is not getting the results that I'm after, just like they do in Silicon Valley. This software is not doing, this app is not doing what I want it to do. What adjustments do I need to make? So it's this ability to go in and to make adjustments in real time. And part of it is we have to be aware and we have to pay attention to how am I showing up, how am I responding, how am I interacting with others. And if I don't like what I'm seeing, I can go in and I can make adjustments into the inner core, into the software of who I truly am. And this is one of the greatest things I've learned. I think it's one of the, my wife and I were talking the other day, I think it's one of the greatest secrets I've learned. I don't have it all figured out, but I've learned that it is possible. And you kind of take accountability and take responsibility for yourself for becoming the person that you want to be. Now, other people might still be responding. They might still be doing things that used to push your buttons, okay? But you can change the programming so where what they used to do to push your buttons, that gets reprogrammed. And when they push that button, you respond in a different way. We all have buttons, okay? It might be your kids push your buttons, or a certain relationship person pushes your buttons, certain person, just the way they do things that pushes your buttons. You can't change them, but you can change you, okay? If you try to change other people and you focus on them, it's going to be a hard road. But if you focus on trying to change and improve you, okay, that's the route that we want to be focused on. That's the route that we want to be taking. You can show up. They can push that button and you can respond in a different way if you walk these steps out. But I hope this helps on this Wisdom Wednesday. You can leave some comments down below and give me some real-time feedback. And hopefully if this is helpful for you as we go.